top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald Podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, if you can hear that noise in the background, I'm in the car at the moment, and it is just bucketing down with rain, and the rain is just bouncing off the roof of the car here. So I do apologise if it's a bit of a distraction in this episode, but, you know, let's just record it and let's get it done. So, what am I talking about today? Well, today is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is the 1st of January, and I'm sure you have big plans for 2023. You're going to wake up tomorrow, you're going to be excited about exercising. You're going to wake up tomorrow, you are going to be full of confidence, and you'll have no problems recording a video for TikTok. You're going to wake up tomorrow, and you're going to have no problems writing a blog post, or whatever it is that you're looking to do. You know, stupidly, we believe, but how many years have we been on the planet and found that the person that we are today is the same person that's there tomorrow? That you're going to be the same lawbreaker who's going to break all the laws, who's going to break all those New Year's resolutions, that's going to break all those promises that you've made to yourself, and you'll probably find maybe by the end of next week you're going to be back to where you are. So if you are thinking that maybe, you know, you're going to have problems staying committed, doing whatever you need to do, showing up regularly, I would recommend grabbing a copy of a book which made a big difference in my life this year, which is called Elastic Habits. Now, to give you the premise of the book, Elastic Habits is an easy way for you and I to stay committed to a course of action, to show up regularly, and to do it as long and as often as possible. Now, when it comes to whatever plans you have tomorrow, whether it's writing, recording, podcasting, whatever it is, you're going to find that there will be days when you don't want to show up. There will be days when you'll say to yourself, I'll do 2 episodes tomorrow, or I'll write 2 blog posts tomorrow, or I've been good all this week, I deserve to take a day off. And on those days, you are going to tell yourself loads of lies, and you're not going to do the things that you promise yourself you're going to do. So when it comes to making a habit, one of the things that's mentioned in that book is to base your actions on 3 different levels. Now, to explain this better, you know, sometimes you wake up and you just don't want to do the job at all, whatever it is, writing, recording. Some days you wake up and you're kind of 50-50. You do want to do the work, but you're not fully committed. And then you find other days where you have no problem. You're fired up. You know, you're leaping out of bed. You're writing, you're recording, you're excited. And you do the work on those days. And it's so easy on those days. So we have the days when we just don't want to do it. The days when we're kind of meh. And the days when we're excited about that. Now in the book Elastic Habits, the author said that you should, if you have a goal, base it on how you're feeling each day. So, for example, if I was to wake up today, not want to do the work, what I would do is I would work out the minimum amount of work that I would need to do that would make that a productive day. So, say, for example, I wake up today, I don't want to write, I don't want to do videos, but maybe I feel that I have it in me to maybe record 1 podcast episode in the day. Maybe for me, a good productive day would be 1 podcast episode, 1 video, and 1 blog post. But because I'm waking up today and I do want to do any of those things, I'll set a low level of what I want to achieve that day, which could be to do a podcast episode. Now, it depends on, you know, what you yourself call a good day, a productive day, and what you call a bad day. But by having a minimum level of a goal that you'd like to achieve, you're going to get something done today. So again, going back to my example, if I don't want to do a blog post, a video and a podcast, if I do a podcast, today is going to be a good day. Now, if there is a day when I wake up and I'm kind of meh, I'm just not motivated, but I want to do something, I have a little bit of energy, Well then, a better day for me to do would be maybe to do a podcast episode and maybe a video. So at least I get 2 things done on that day. But maybe there's days when I wake up and I'm excited, I'm full of energy, I want to create something today. A good day for me could be to do a podcast episode, a video, and a blog post. Now again, those don't think that these are things that you need to do. This is just an example, so it would depend on what you would normally do in your day. So you're going to have a bad day where you do 1 piece of content, you're going to have an okay day where you're going to do 2 pieces of content, and you're going to have a great day where you're going to record, or whatever it is, do 3 pieces of content. So by sticking to this kind of flexibility in your goals, you're going to make allowances for those days when you just don't want to do the work. On those days when you might be 50-50, and those days when you're excited. So if you imagine a calendar with those little kind of red X's right through the month, what your goal to do this year is to keep that chain going as long as you can, Monday to Sunday. Don't take a day off, but on the days maybe when you want to relax, just do the minimum amount of work and get that done. So as you're marking out the calendar in January, you're going to have the first week marked out, the second week marked out, and you will find that the longer this chain keeps going, the longer you'll feel motivated to keep it going. You know, can you imagine keeping a chain of those little X's going for a month, and then you break that? You have to start back at day 1 again. And the longer you keep the chain going, as I said, you'll want to keep it longer. So going into 2023, now there will be days when you will maybe be ill, or maybe you'll just be too busy, or something will come up, some emergency will come up where you won't be able to do the minimum amount of work. But what you need to do is do the least amount of work you can do each day, so that in the next year, over the next 365 days, you will have done something every single day. You'll have done days on the days when you didn't want to do anything, when you were half motivated, and when you were fully motivated. And you will find that you will be in a completely different place than you are in a year from now. Now, I remember going back a couple of years where when I was doing this podcast, I set myself a challenge to record 2 podcast episodes every day. Now, at the time, I said to myself, right, that's 365 by 2. That's a lot of podcast episodes. And I remember thinking, I doubt there's too many people actually recording 2 podcast episodes every day. Now, I had these great notions that I was just going to storm up the charts of iTunes, everybody was going to listen to the podcast, and I was going to become an overnight sensation. Now, that didn't happen, but I did record a lot of content. Now, I did kind of break my little promise to myself, because I set my goals so high. I didn't record 2 episodes every day. Now, some days, a lot of days, I did do 2 episodes, but on the odd day, I did 1 podcast episode. So by the end of the goal, at the end of the year, I didn't record whatever it was, 700 episodes or whatever, 365, that's what, 720 something or something like that anyway. But I didn't record over 700 episodes in the year. But I think at one point, I think I'd recorded 500 episodes of this podcast. Now, I don't know about you, but I was impressed with myself that I had recorded so much content, that there was actually a podcast with my name on it, and there was like 500 or something episodes in it. And what I did was I just did a simple goal every single day. Now, in a year from now, you know, imagine looking back at whatever you've done, be it blog posts, podcast episodes, videos, and having created that much content. I'm sure, as I said, you know, you'll be in a far different position than where you are right now, and it was just from doing one simple thing every day. So as I said, tomorrow, 1st of January, you're going to be excited, but that excitement, that shine is going to wear off very, very soon, and you're going to go back to your old habits and routines. So what you need to do today is, I want you to come up with 3 different levels that you could do every single day. What is the least amount of work you could do and still be happy with that day being a productive day? What is the next step up? What would be a kind of meh day, where you did a little bit more than the minimum, but again, it would be a productive day? And on those days when you want to push yourself, where you want to create a lot more than you would normally do, on those days when you're motivated and inspired, what would be a good day for you? So you're going to have 3 levels. And as I said, when you go through this year, there will be days when you just don't want to do the work, days when you're kind of half excited, and days when you're fully excited. But at least you'll have a plan, and at least you will be able to do one thing every single day, no matter what. so that you will get closer to your goal. You'll get closer to having a popular blog. You'll have more content written. You'll have maybe Kindle books written. You'll have, a successful YouTube channel. And that's basically just showing up. So, as I said, when we, set these New Year's resolutions, we kind of set ourselves this kind of goal of, I have to do that, and if I don't do that, well then it's a bad day. But as I said, there are going to be days when your levels are going to go up and down. So going on that, it's better to have a kind of minimum thing that you could do, a kind of middle thing that you can do, and a maximum thing you can do. And I would recommend, if you have a Kindle app, go straight over to go over to Amazon or wherever you get your normal books from, or even go to maybe the local bookstore or whatever. But I would recommend grabbing a copy of Elastic Habits, because in this year I have found it really, really successful, and it probably will explain it a lot better than I can in this podcast episode. But as I said, you can't really expect that you tomorrow is going to be completely different from today. You're going to be the same lawbreaker who's going to break those New Year's resolutions. But at least if you have something set into place that you can do the minimum every day, at least you're going to be making progress towards your goal in the year. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Would you like to know how I went from being a lowly shelf stacker, depressed, no confidence in himself, and how I went from that to becoming a popular children's author, and then on to even greater things, recording and selling my own digital products? If you'd like to find out how I did it, and if you would like to do the same yourself, if you head over to Writecome, that's WRITECOME.com, you'll find a great free report over there, which is called the Online Business Manifesto. And in that report, I'm going to show you the journey I went on from the beginning to where I am right now. And I'm going to show you the 3 business secrets I learned along the way. Now, these secrets aren't secrets that most people talk about. Some people don't even realize that they exist. So if you head over to Writecome, download the free report, you are going to be miles ahead of everyone else who has an online business. Have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoy this episode.